Hi, for this session, we are going to talk about the plus plus and the minus minus operators. There are actually four different operators, and the objective of this session is to understand how these four different operators work. Now, the first one is the, hold on, is what we call the post-increment operator. When you see plus plus, it means increment, you increase. When you see minus minus, it means decrement operator. All right, so there are four operators here. I plus plus. Okay, I can be any variable name, any expression which stores an integer value. Post increment, pre increment, post decrement, pre decrement. It's not difficult to remember. Post means after. All right, the plus plus signs appear after. Post decrement, the minus minus sign appears after. Pre means before. All right, now let's take a look at these four operators. Let's start with by the way, if you have seen the operator precedence table for Java, the plus plus and minus minus operators, they have very high precedence. Okay, these are the post increment and post decrement operators. They have equally high precedence. Here we have the pre increment and pre decrement operators. Okay, they have very high precedence. They are very high up there in the operator precedence table for Java. Now let's take a look at a very simple code. There's a test class here, a single method called main, and on line 3, I declare a local variable called I. Store the value of 100 inside, and I just print the value of I. Of course, if I run this program, it will just show 100. Alright, if I do I plus plus here, and I try to print out the value, again, save this. Let's try and compile this piece of code and run it. Now, this shows the effect of the I++ operator, the plus plus operator. Now, when the program goes to line 4, it prints out 100, and that's expected, isn't it? It goes to line 5. Now, what line 5 does is it increases the value of I by 1. So I now becomes 100. I stores the value of 100. I stores the value of 101. And I go on to line 6 and I print out the value in I, which is 101. And that's why the output looks like this. Alright, expected. So in this context, I++ is the same as I equals to I plus 1. Okay, or I plus equals to 1 for those who are familiar with the plus equals operator. As a single statement, I++ basically increases the value of I by 1. Okay, it's the same as I equals to I plus 1. So as a single statement, there is no difference between plus plus I and I plus plus. I've saved it. Let me compile this and run it again. You get the same exact output. When I go to line number 6, you realize that the value stored in I is actually 101. So let me say again, as far as a single statement is concerned, that means if it appears as a single statement, I++ does exactly the same thing as plus plus I. So what is the difference? The difference becomes apparent when the operator is used as part of another statement. Let me give an example. Alright, I've changed the code a bit here. Now on line 4, look at this. I++ is an expression in a separate statement. Okay, it's part of a bigger statement. And now there is a difference between I++ and plus plus I. Now in this case, what happens is the expression will be evaluated and then 1 will be added to I. Alright, which means that on line 4, I'll print out the original value of I, which is 100, and then add 1 to it. So by the time I go to line 5, I will already have the value of 101. That's why it's called post increment, post, after. The increase in I happens after the expression has been evaluated, has been used. Now let's try and take a look at what happens when I compile and run this. You see, it prints out 101. Line 5 prints out 101, but line 4 prints out 100. Okay, now let's change this a bit. Save. Now what should be the expected output? This is what we call the pre-increment operator. That means before the expression is evaluated, I'm going to increase the value of I by 1 first. Alright, the increase happens before, not after. So on line 4, I will be changed to 101 before I print out the value of I. So line 4, I'm expecting 101 to be printed out. When I go to line 5, I will still see 101 printed out. Let's check it out. Compile, run. You see, the output is different from the previous case. So now I++ and ++I makes a difference if they are part of a bigger statement. Alright, as a single statement on its own line, absolutely no difference. It's the same as I equals to I plus 1. But if we are using it as part of a bigger expression, there is a difference. Right? So it's the same for I minus minus and minus minus I. Okay, let's try. Okay, this is called a pre-decrement operator. Now before the printing is done, the value in I will be changed to 99 first, and then I'll print out 99. I'll go on to line 5 and print out 99 again. Okay, let's try this, and that's the expected output. Okay, let's change this. I'm going to use the post decrement operator. On line 4, I'm going to print out the original value of I first, which is 100. After that, I will decrease the value of I to 99. And I go to line 5, and line 5 will print out the value of I, which is 99. So the output is going to be different. Check this out. Okay, on line 4, 100 gets printed out. After 100 gets printed out, I becomes 99. Alright, so that's the difference between the post and pre-decrement operators. Let's try a bit of strange stuff. Alright, what do you think will happen when you try stuff like that? Okay, so now this I++ is part of a bigger statement. And the confusion appears here because I is used again on the same bigger statement. Alright, so let's go through this. When I reach line 4, Java will look at this statement, this expression I++. Okay, it will this expression here, this header expression, will return 100 and increase the value of I to 101. When I reach here, I is already 101, so I'm going to expect 100 and 101 to be printed out. Now this plus here is basically a concatenation operator, nothing much. Another concatenation operator here. It's not addition, concatenation. Let's check. See? Now after this expression is evaluated, it returns 100 for printing. I will be changed to 101. And by the time I come to here, this part here, retrieve the value in I, it will already store 101. Okay, so what gets printed out is 100 and 101. Now, having said that, this is not a good idea. It's not a good idea to write code like that because it confuses people. Alright, it is slightly difficult to re-understand. Of course, you can do more weird stuff. This will compile, this will run. Let's check out the results. 100 and 102. Now, why? So when a code comes to this line, this part here, I is still 100. Okay, because it's post increment. So this expression you have highlighted here in gray returns 100. Okay, I concatenate that with the word A and D. I concatenate that with this thing. Now, what is this thing here? Before before the expression returns the value, before this gray part returns the value, okay, the current value of I, which is 101, gets increased to 102 first because this is pre-increment, not post-increment. Okay, and the value 102 is returned for concatenation. Okay, so as a result, this will be the output. Now, if I have another print line statement behind to check out what is the value of I will still be 102. Yep, it's still 102. Okay, but second reminder, try not to write code like that because it's confusing. And I'm sure there's a better way to do stuff, do the same to reach the same objective. Okay, that's the end of this segment. Um, before I end, there's one more very minor thing. When you are writing loops, right, it's quite common for people to include to actually have this I++ thing behind here. Now here for this in this case, I++, this expression here is to be treated as a separate expression. Okay, there are three parts here. First part, second part, and third part. Alright, in this case, there's absolutely no difference between I++ and plus I. Or if you're happy about it, you can do this. I equals to I plus 1 or I plus equals to 1. All these cases, all these four cases, there's absolutely no difference. Alright, but most people will do this. You know, it's convenient. So I don't see any good reason to be a bit long-winded. Okay, although this is technically not wrong, um, this is the common one. Okay, as part of a for loop, this I++ here is to be treated as a single expression. That's all.